Hello, welcome to the Wellness Wahala Podcast. It's your girl, Dr. Tomi, better known as Amma Abba. I am the host of our Wellness and Wahala Podcast. For those of you tuning in for the first time, Wahala in Nigerian Pidgin English means issues and problems. So today's topic, I will talk about the current affair Wahala topic that's going on in Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou to be exact, which I visited about 10 years ago when I was deployed and I was working on a grow campaign. I think we had a grow campaign regional meeting, agriculture, food security. And at that time, I was the acting associate country director for Oxfam. And it was just a great experience, but I can dig in deep about a lot of the corruption that was going on there, and just thanking God for just the new leadership and the young leadership with a vision in Burkina Faso. And there's a worldwide global Africa diaspora protest that is happening tomorrow, April 30th, in support of the President, Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. So today's episode's title is United for Africa, Standing with Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. In this special episode of the Wellness and Wahala Podcast episode, we amplify the global voices rising up in the unity on April 30th tomorrow in support of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. I will delve into the spirit of the African resilience, how we support him here in the diaspora, discuss the challenges he faces, and highlight the rich resources of Burkina Faso and Africa and how they have been long exploited, and also the many assassination attempts that have been made on President Captain Traoré's life. So join me as we stand in solidarity for justice and true independence of Burkina Faso. So once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Wellness and Wahala Podcast from all over the world. I really appreciate you. And the theme really is we're focusing on today is global African and diaspora protests for the April 30th tomorrow in support of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré. We want to emphasize the importance of our unity, especially here in the diaspora, and solidarity in the face of exploitation and corruption. Burkina Faso, just for background, so the colonizers of Burkina Faso was the French. It's a francophone, a French colonized African nation. And I've traveled to a lot of the francophone nations, Dakar, Burkina Faso, Lomé, Togo. And when I can say firsthand, the evils of the French colonizers is way worse than any other, like British colonized, like Nigeria's British colonized, Angola's Portuguese colonized, Cape Verde, Spanish, those colonized, everyone, they have their own evils. However, French, not number one when it comes to corruption and evil and just the evil atrocities and exploitations in Africa and specifically in the Francophone countries. So I saw it firsthand when I traveled to Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, about a decade ago. You won't even see people with a car. If you did, it was really like politicians, corrupt leaders. Most people were, walking or taking bicycles or taking Okada motorbikes. If you had a motorbike, like you were well-to-do, it was the extreme poverty. It was just very saddening. But the people there were just wonderful, welcoming. And, I had a translator and, she told me about a lot of the history, and I would just pray. And I was like, look, our leaders, a good leader can make or break a nation. And right after I left, the following year, just a few months later, they actually had a military coup. And now they have a young military leader. He's 34 now, President Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and is wonderful because he is doing a lot. So just a brief background on Captain Traoré's rise to power in September 2022. His vision for Burkina Faso is anti-corruption, anti-imperialism, and Pan-African solidarity. I'm happy he came in. He told all the French troops, French embassy, y'all, peace out, leave my country. His alignment are in line with the ideals of Thomas Sankara, and as you know, he was assassinated along with Gaddafi and so many of the great African leaders that wants us to unite and actually prosper against corruption and exploitation. And he emphasizes national sovereignty and self-reliance. So some of the Wahala challenges he has faced is, of course, assassination attempts. They're really trying to take him out, and I just pray that God will protect him and deliver him from all forms of evil, and he will not die before his time. Good health, long life, length of days, and peace. Shalom shall be President Traoré portion, so he can really fulfill his God-given destiny to revive and rebuild Burkina Faso. So that he has faced many dangerous assassination attempts, and I just want to emphasize his resilience, and he continues to stay strong for Burkina Faso's freedom and liberation from corrupt, evil leaders, especially the French. And he's been getting a lot of support from Russia and China. I think they're even going to be sending troops and defense forces and resources to help them fight a lot of the French-sponsored terrorists that are in the country. So I want to go into why they're being exploited. One of the reasons why Burkina Faso is rich with natural resources, okay? A lot of natural resources. So I want to highlight that Burkina Faso's status is the fourth largest gold producer in Africa, okay? And also they have a whole bunch of other wealth and resources like uranium. However, their poverty is quite high. And in the broader context, Africa holds approximately 30% of the world's mineral reserves, but benefits minimally due to external control and corruption. So I'm just going to bring you to an African proverb that will just sum all of this Wahala nonsense that is going on in Burkina Faso. It says, and it's a Burkina Faso African proverb that says, if you see a turtle on top of a fence post, you know how he had help. Okay? So once again, if you see a turtle on top of a fence post, you know how he had help. And the meaning of that is external forces are often responsible for unnatural outcomes. So a lot of the external evil forces that are happening, not just in Burkina Faso, but across all the 54 nations in Africa, is really because of external evil forces coming in, trying to exploit, and, they embed and make bad deals with our corrupt African leaders to just keep us impoverished when we are really the richest and most blessed continent on the planet. So, like, out of all the 7 continents, Africa is it. Like, even if you look at it biblically, when Joseph and Mary fled from Israel, the Holy Land, when they wanted to kill Yeshua, Jesus, they fled where? To Egypt, to Africa. Africa has always been a place of refuge. You understand? A place that's rich in resources and that has been hospitable to people that come. Unfortunately, that hospitality has been replaced with hostility and just evil, corruption and exploitation. Another African proverb is, the sun does not forget a village just because it is small. So just because they think that Africa is small, we are no smaller. We are very mighty. You understand? And God can never forsake the righteous. So my Nigerian Pidgin verse for this week and for this topic, aligned with this topic, is the book of Psalms 46, chapter 46, verse 1, that says, God na our refuge and strength. Now him be our help when wahala dey plenty. Once again, God na our refuge and strength. Now him be our help when wahala is plenty. So let me get into Russia's support and the quest for decolonization in Burkina Faso. So President Traoré is receiving support from Russia, including military assistance and protection. But that has been reported and indicates that Russian troops, including the Africa Corps, has been deployed to Burkina Faso to provide additional security and support for them. Also, I want to emphasize a strategic partnership aimed at reducing Western influence and promoting African sovereignty. So Russia and I believe also China has been a strong partner to President Ibrahim Traoré, but especially Russia. But this is a call to action for everybody, especially here in the diaspora. We want to encourage all the listeners to, tweet, on your social media accounts, repost, even this podcast, let it go viral, to talk about the global protests, April 30th, in solidarity with President Traoré. A lot of the protests are going to be outside U.S. embassies and fresh embassies. So especially us here in the diaspora, here in the Americas, let us raise our voices in solidarity. Let us tag all the U.S. embassies when we tweet and the French, and let them know and high commissions that we are in solidarity with President Traoré in Burkina Faso. They should leave him alone. They should seize and stop all assassination and evil attempts to take over and to take him out. Because when God is for you, no one can be against you. And it's not going to end well with the enemy. So at the end of the day, I'm just spreading awareness, and I want to advocate for Africa's unity and prosperity. And I know that our people, we are hopeful and resilient. And I just want to emphasize the importance of all of us standing together back at home in Africa and in the diaspora for justice and true independence for our nation. Africa is not a place of despair. It is a land of hope, resilience, and boundless potential. Let us stand together, united, back at home in Africa, not just for Burkina Faso, but for the liberation and prosperity of the entire continent of Africa. So I just wish you guys well, much love and blessing. I can't wait to tomorrow when we stand in solidarity. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite songs that I was able to work with wonderful artists. My sister is also on this track, TT Low Key. We also have Smarty from, he's an Afrobeat rapper and singer from Burkina Faso, CP from Mauritania, Baba Mal from Senegal, Fadi Freddy from Senegal is also on this track, Lami Phillips from Nigeria, Sound Sultan, rest in peace, from Nigeria, Two-Face, and more that's on this track. So this song is called Where Is Our 10%? So over a decade ago, it's almost 2 decades now, all the African nations in Maputo, Mozambique, came together, the African heads of states, and they promised that they're going to put 10% of their national budget towards agriculture and food security and nutrition for their nations. But however, in 2014, during their 10-year anniversary of that pledge, only about 5 of those nations have kept that pledge. So sadly, many of our leaders, so we go together with these Afrobeat celebrity ambassadors across Africa, and specifically West Africa, to come up with this song called Where's Our 10%? And we did an online petition. We got over 100,000 signatures, and we were able to present it at the African Union meeting, African heads of state, for them to recommit to their pledge to put 10% of their national budget towards agriculture, food security, and nutrition, which the Burkina Faso President Traoré, Captain Traoré, has actually kept that pledge, and he has been doing more. So even like gold, for example, none of the African nations had gold bars produced in their country by themselves and preserved and their money backed by that gold. He is doing that, with their national sales. So this song is just vital and important, and it's a song that is important for such a time as this. So where's our 10%? Much love and blessing. Wish you no wahala. CP Martini out. My sis, TT low key. Money day, but we can't feed the kids. Why is this? You made a promise, now stick to it.
10% of $1 billion will feed 1 million if we invest in farming women who grow food for the children. No one in this world should go
Hungry,
but they for help outside
the country.
When we had the best resource in our land, you heard us cry, not the power's in your hands. So tell me what you gonna do about it? Stick to your promises, time for a change. Oh, y'all join hands, rejoice in the rain. Our time is now, no more hunger pains.
14% de budget national, 70% de dépendance internationale.
Okay, Smarty,
Améliorer la
Burkina
qualité de
Faso.
l'investissement, réduire la pauvreté, comment faire autrement? Le secteur rural, c'est 30% de bénéfices bruts. Burkinabé, comprends-tu ma lutte? Monsieur le Président, envoyez le financement de ce pays repose sur le pôle des paysans.
Baba Mao, Senegal, Dakar.
I've been going for a minute, but the real is back. Been through it all to know the fact. If you stay in your hustle, you be with a cheddar back. And what drive me insane to see you grown
DK, Senegal.
from another grown man. Daddy told me, you don't work, you don't eat. And the streets showed me, you don't grind, you don't shine. So forget the government. I'ma work, I'ma grind.
Dada Freddy, Senegal, Dakar.
You wanna dundal suni saka kisatal Sinamin warno Gardido onuna Aminam no lande heti bebe Sono di pursan Manyame na mauni Sono di pursan Sagata gabe
Comment veux-tu que mon peuple soit rassasié si les politiques agricoles sont
Emily.
adaptées? Les grandes puissances ne pensent qu'à tout
Niger.
Le climat déréglé, l'air et l'eau polluée. Ici la mode c'est la course aux intérêts. Gagner plus, consommer plus, la priorité. Laissant les plus pauvres dans plus de pauvreté. Nos paysans se cassent le dos pour cultiver.
We gotta do something now. But everybody's asking me
Lami
how.
in
My
Nigeria.
brother, my sister, talk to the man in charge and say there's so much confusion. We gotta find a solution. The people starving as we speak. They gotta practice what they preach. Africa is you and me. Africa is you and me. Africa is you and me.
Sinamin warno Gardido onuna Aminam no lande heti bebe Sono di pursan
Baba Mao, Senegal.
Sono di pursan Sagata gabe
I'ma give you your survival kid.
Hey.
Don't own all the profit. Hey, you say about your pocket. Why buy if it goes right? Stop it. I'ma give you your survival kid. Do it on your own, all the profit. Hey, you say about your pocket. Why buy if it goes right? Stop it.
In Africa, where I'm from, we got many people
Sound Sultan. I'm one Niger. Rest in peace, Sound Sultan.
looking on the government to take all the pain away. We'll never let their promises break. But after all the rain, I cry. Do everybody fold their hands and watch their brother die? We'll grow if you show the will to make a change right before the eye. We'll give them the best.
nañu bàyyi ci tooñ yi ceeb gerte mooy suqali koom bi li ñu mën a génne jële ci ndool bi liggéey suñu suuf mu feeñ ci bool bi jigéen di bor ana 10% yi ñaata gouvernement ñoo nar weddi son bi def xaalis jumtukaay ne béykat bi kaay jox ko du ay loo ko jox mu meññi waay
Sinna min wonno gardiɗo honuna amin namɗo lamɓe hettiɓe ɓe sonno 10%. Maƴa men na mawni sonno 10%.
Two-Face Nigeria.
You see a hungry man,
To Baba.
This is what we must understand. Invest in famine and support them. Hunger is not your destiny, it's not our destiny. So a seed of change today for a world where good food everywhere. Oh, let's break the cycle of hunger.
Sinna min wonno gardiɗo honuna
Let's break the
amin
cycle.
namɗo lamɓe hettiɓe ɓe sonno 10%.
Break the cycle.
Maƴa men na mawni sonno 10%.
Break the cycle.
Agandaɓe ɓe ene jiɗi sinna min wonno gardiɗo hoɗuna mamin namɗo lamɓe hettiɓe ɓe ko sonno 10%. Maƴa men na